Hi, this time I wanted to talk about the importance of respecting your tabletop RPG session. There are players that sometimes play tabletop role playing games and they start to feel frustrated. Their sessions become so monotonous, so lacking, so dull, so boring, and even if they have like some silly, stupid fun in some cases, you look back at those sessions and they seem pointless, worthless. I have seen that. And when I first started to play tabletop role playing games, I had some of those sessions. And I think it happens because of a lack of respect for the session itself. What do I mean by this? At first, I was considering using like a genre style of video where I criticize an actual play, but I decided against this because the person that I saw that actually, the one who was responsible for that actual play, it's a bit strange. He has commented once or twice, perhaps, in my channel, and it seems like he kinda gets what role playing is all about, but he doesn't apply that in his actual plays. And I have seen that's a perfect example. Some of his comments immediately make me think. I have seen this so many times. This same comment so many times, not only on the internet but in real life. Like, the typical comment like, "My games aren't getting anywhere," or "I hate this sort of game," "I don't like campaigns." If you take a look at the actual play, like I said, I don't want, those sorts of actual plays, there is a complete lack of respect for everyone's time at the table. They play in these amazing settings. I particularly like the Dungeons and Dragons settings, be it Ravenloft, Dark Sun, not the woke ones in current times, I mean the classic ones. Ravenloft, like I said, Dark Sun, Spelljammer, Planescape. I love those settings, love them. And you see people like this that play them like a comedy setting. You can do it. You can do a comedy, but even if you were to run a comedy version of that setting, if you are actually role playing, the session flows so smoothly, so well. So I really have to point out some of these things that I saw in the actual play that I don't want to call out because, like I said, perhaps the one that I am criticizing will identify that's me, right? And so it's not about just like calling out like, "Hey, look, he's horrible." No, I want to just point this out. It is Dragonlance, the beloved setting of Dragonlance, and yet he's like running the game. "Oh yeah, well, you guys kind of like so you arrive at the fort and you see kind of like this kind of like a dragon, and you fought like this dragon kind of looks like so yeah, so you kind of it sounds like he's having a conversation with someone at a fast food restaurant. Where is that evocation? Like in my actual play, take a look at how I communicate things. You're It's almost as if you are summoning something. That's the power of, for example, Christopher Lee. You all know the great actor that has passed away, Christopher Lee. If you take a look at different moments in his life, you can see that he went through so many different things. He is related to the occult. So it is quite easy for you to understand why he portrays Dracula, Saruman, Count Dooku. Those characters, they are quite sorcerous. So I can already see how he participated in ceremonies and he takes that power of evocation, that mysteriousness, and he applies it to the tabletop RPG hobby. This doesn't mean that you have to be an occultist, and don't confuse occultist with cultist. There are many religious people that, for example, Christians and all of that, they want to attach the occult to their own cults. A true occultist does not worship idols. They don't worship corpses. They don't worship messiahs, prophets. It's more like a philosophical, scientific point of view. If you see someone that is worshiping something, including political parties, including political agendas, the right, the left, those are cultists. They have their dogma and doctrine. They are cultists. They are not occultists. So when it comes to, like I said, the evocation, it doesn't mean that you need to be an occultist to achieve this, but when you communicate the game world to your players, summon that world. You know, like before you stand before you. Well, that sounds a bit silly. Before you stand before, sorry, before you lies the great fortress of, you know. So put that energy into it. And that energy is going to come back to you. You're going to be, wow, that moment. I remember that time. That adventure was amazing. Or you're going to look back at your actual play. Instead of cringing every time you look at your actual play, you're going to be like, I remember that moment. It's magical. So that was that actual play that I am talking about was pretty awful. And then the players started to crack jokes. Ahaha, uhuhu, ehehe. They spend like 2 minutes. Ahaha, uhuhu, ehehe, ihihi, ahaha. No wonder that person hates campaigns. So much time wasted. I can see how a single module is going to take them ages to finish. Those long campaigns, because they waste so much time. Once they go into the skip, I don't know the exact context, but one of the players. Are the guards still alive? Are they captured or something like that? And the game master, yes, the guards were captured, but having a conversation with a dungeon master that doesn't exist in the game world. The game master, dungeon master, does not exist in the game world. Do not talk to him. Everything can be obtained through roleplay. Now, if you see that cringe moment, you will perhaps think it would be much better if the character, the player asking the question, instead, I race through the ground floor, opening all of the doors. I yell for the guards. Is someone in here? Is there anyone alive? Hello, is there someone here? As I brandish my sword in my right hand. That's pretty exciting, don't you think? You can imagine that, like a scene in any comic book, in a movie, in real life, when you are desperately looking for people inside of a structure. And now the game master is going to inform you. There is no one. You don't find a single person. But there are signs of struggle. And now the player could be like, damn it, we didn't make it in time. They were taken. They were captured. You see? And that puts so much, that quality, I don't even know how to describe it. It's immersion. It's pure immersion. Through roleplay. You need roleplay to achieve immersion. So beautiful. But you need to respect the game. You need to respect the setting. You need to respect the session. If you are running a comedy, go ahead, make those funny moments in character. Have those funny jokes in character. This could also be the fault of the Gygaxian method. For those of you that didn't know, and check out my video where I demystify Gary Gygax in tabletop role-playing games. The link will be in the description. Gary Gygax would troll his fans. There were a lot of enthusiasts when it comes to the Greyhawk setting. There still are enthusiasts. There are people that love the Greyhawk setting. Just take a look at that intro for the PC game of the Temple of Elemental Evil. That intro, despite the technical limitations from that time, it is so epic how the members of the Circle of Fate, they materialize and they... Well, in order to avoid spoilers, they do something. They do that. They use the spells to lock something away. It's so epic, so heroic, so amazing. And Gary Gygax, Hey, do you remember that my setting that is supposed to be called Earth? No, it's called Oith. You pronounce it with a Brooklyn accent. Oith. That was completely unnecessary. Earth. Epic. Oith. The fans got really mad about that. And Gary, oh well, don't take it too serious, it's just a setting. He didn't have respect for his own setting. Imagine if Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, suddenly said, hey, you know the hobbits? They are called hobos. They are pronounced hobos. If fans would have backlashed so hard, and imagine if he would say something like, if he would have said something like, well, it's not, don't take things too seriously, it's just a setting, you know, and that magic is lost. So yes, I hope this video was informative and entertaining. I hope you will always approach things with proper respect when it comes to running a tabletop RPG. Because when you are respecting the session, you're also respecting yourself and those that are participating in the session. Maybe you need to change groups. Maybe your players are no good. If you get clowns into your game, you're going to end up with a circus, and a pretty awful circus at that. Thank you for watching my videos, as always. Any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.